Hi there and welcome to another update to the Great Game Catchup. It's been a while since I've made one of these videos, but since we last talked, I have completed and finished with a few games. That's another 6 games which have been taken off the 2 playlists, so let's talk about those. First up is one called Homesick, which is a 2015 game from developer Lucky Paws. It's an exploration puzzle type thing with a hint of psychological horror. The main takeaway I have from this one is the lovely visuals. They are excellent throughout and also accompanied by a very nice soundtrack. The story was interesting, although not necessarily the most memorable. Thinking back now, I'm not recalling all of the details. My biggest complaint about this game was that sometimes there wasn't enough feedback on the puzzles as to whether you'd actually got the right solution. Sometimes you'd be wandering around thinking about what am I supposed to do next, and then you'd find another door that had already opened because you'd actually already solved the bit before but you hadn't actually realised it. Overall though, I definitely enjoyed the time I spent with this game, and if you're looking for a short atmospheric puzzler then this is definitely worth a look. Then next we have Deadlight, a 2012 action platformer from Tequila Works. It's one of the very many zombie games that are around, but this one is more about finding creative ways to avoid the zombies rather than just shooting them. A very nice look and feel. The controls and style remind me very much of the original Prince of Persia, but with added zombies. My main complaint on this one is there were a couple of levels where you were forced to rush because you were against the clock and they were extremely frustrating. Whether I would recommend this one to you would depend very much on what your opinions are of zombies and platformers. Then next up we have what's basically another platformer, Rolling Sun, a 2015 game from Mystic Arts. This one is built with the CryEngine and therefore looks amazing. However, it seems like they've concentrated so much on the graphics that they forgot to make the rest of the game very interesting. I found this game extremely frustrating and annoying to play, and once I got enough playtime to get the Steam trading card drops, I just stopped. The one benefit this has is that it's extremely cheap. The base price is only £2, so once I got a money off coupon, I only actually spent 15 pence on it. But even at that extremely cheap price, I would not recommend it. Then we have The Silent Age, a 2015 game from developers House on Fire. This is a story-rich point-and-click adventure. Time travel-based stories are a particular favourite of mine, so I might be slightly biased, but I found this to be a very interesting story. That was combined with some nice puzzles which were not too obscure and were fun to figure out, and overall it was not too long and the whole thing was very well paced and balanced. If you are a fan of the point-and-click genre, I would highly recommend this one. Next up we've got Consortium, a 2014 adventure mystery FPS from Interdimensional Games. This I got free at some point. If I remember correctly, they had a giveaway on Steam for this one. Otherwise, to be honest, I think I would probably have been put off by the graphical style. The concept of the game does in theory sound interesting. It's been designed so you're supposed to play through the story multiple times and choose different branching paths each time to learn what actually happened in the mystery. The problem I found though is that you knew so little the first time round that you had no idea who anybody was, you had no idea how to get around the environment. None of it made any sense, and it just didn't make me want to keep playing again and again. Add to the fact that even when you complete the storyline, it ends on a cliffhanger for the sequel that's currently in development. The cheap looking graphics, the clunky controls, the terrible combat system, it just didn't work for me at all. The concept is a nice idea, but the implementation is so poor that I cannot recommend it. Then finally this time round we have Nicopol Secrets of the Immortals, a 2008 game from Whitebird Productions. This one is another point and click with a dystopian sci-fi kind of setting. Many of the reviews I read of this one really praised the graphics, however I didn't feel that they were all that great, and they're obviously pre-rendered, so not that much of a technical achievement either. But the main problem I found with this game is that it didn't really ever take the time to introduce you to the world. I later found out that it's based on a book series, so I get the impression that they kind of presumed you had read the books, but without that you have no information on who's who, what's going on in the world and why anything is happening. It just dumps you in and gives you puzzles which are not well designed, and so you never really have any clue on what's going on or why. Solving the puzzles ends up being a lot of guesswork and trial and error rather than any kind of logic, and in the end I decided it wasn't worth my time finishing this one. Maybe this might be of interest if you've read the books, but otherwise I do not recommend it. Have you played any of these games? Do you have thoughts to share? Tell me about that in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.